Hey there, my name is Hydrogen Heather and we are very happy to have you here with us for the experiment of the day. And let me just tell you, this is my hands down, all-time, absolute favorite experiment. When I met the founder and CEO of High Touch High Tech, Dinosaur Dan, more than 22 years ago, this is the very first experiment that he and I did together, and since then I've performed it personally with more than 100,000 students, and it is always a crowd favorite. So let's jump right in. Now for today's experiment, I have to ask you ladies, and you as well, Daniel, what is the most abundant material of our body? Meaning, what is our body mostly made of? It is mostly made of water. And then close behind that are proteins. And we're gonna really hone in on that today. We are going to use some water and we are going to use some proteins and we are going to make Ooey, Gooey, Gummy, Glob candies. Now for this experiment, you're going to need some of our super secret powder. I'm not going to identify this yet, but I will tell you that it's made of protein, just like we find in our bodies. And we're going to need water, which mostly makes up our bodies. We're going to need a paper plate for each scientist. And then we like to use pipettes, but many of you may not have pipettes just hanging around the house. You can use an eyedropper, a turkey baster, anything that you would use in your kitchen if you need drops of water. So first, we want to make sure that we know how to use these things properly. So you two are going to share a cup, you're going to use that cup, and here's what we want to do. We're going to put that pipette in the water. Now watch my fingers. I'm going to squeeze and let go, and my pipette fills up with water, all right? Now, yeah, help brothers squeeze and let go. All right, good work. Now, we're going to hold that pipette over the water, and I want you to squeeze so gentle, and don't worry about Daniel, let him just do how he does. I want you to squeeze so gently that, check this out, we get one drop at a time. I call this the drippy faucet. One drop at a time. So when you're preparing for this experiment, you want to make sure that the students or your children or your scientists can pipette or create one drop of water at a time. And with little ones, they're always going to need a little bit of extra help. So at this age, just let them play. So are you feeling pretty confident doing the drippy faucet pipetting method? Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm watching you and you look good. Okay, so now I'm going to take these pipettes away for just a second, okay? And what I'm going to do is on your plates, I'm going to pour a pile of my super secret protein powder. I'm not going to identify it. I'm just going to say that it's made with protein. And when I pour this on your plate, you're going to notice that I pour it in kind of a mountain or a pile, and that's exactly how we want it to stay. So we're not going to blow on it. We're not going to shake the plate. We're not going to sniff it. We're not going to put our fingers in it. We want a nice pile. And I noticed that yours was pretty small, so I'm going to give you a little bit more there. Okay, now as I was pouring that, can you kind of smell though that it's very, very sweet? This particular protein is sweet, and oh buddy, we're gonna keep this right here. Now a little trick, if you're doing this with a little one, they are eventually going to shake the plate. So what I do is I taco it once, turn it, I taco it again, and then I have my pile back. No big deal at all. So here we go. The science that we need to know is that when you mix protein and water together, you get something sticky. Water makes protein very sticky, and that actually happens a lot in our bodies. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of simulate what goes on all over our bodies, and we're gonna take our pipettes, and we're gonna put one tiny drop, just one drop of water right in the middle of our protein pile. Good work, buddy. Okay, this is perfect. So now that I see that you've mastered the drippy faucet method, go ahead and put 6 more drops in different places on the pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should look like your pile has some red freckles, all right? This tells me that you're doing it exactly right. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna count very slowly to 10 because we need to let that protein and water really mix. So count with me, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, enough counting. Here we go. Now, take that pipette and I want you to empty out all the extra water. Look, now I'm gonna do the drippy faucet because I wanna empty all of that back out into my cup and then show me your empty pipettes. Very good, very good. Now hold that thing like a pencil and we're gonna be as strategically careful as a surgeon. We're gonna get behind these gummy globs and gently scooch them off the pile. We're not gonna poke them, we're not gonna stab them, we are going to scooch them. And as we can see, as the protein mixed with that water, it made like this gooey, gummy substance, and we created our own gooey, gummy, glob candy. And now that we've scooched them all off the pile, Daniel, good job, my man. He's got this down. So here we go. Now is my favorite part. You may pick up those gummy globs and eat them. Now, it's funny to see children's faces when you do this because you're gonna get usually about a 75 to 25 ratio. About 75% of the kiddos absolutely love this taste and about 25% put it in their mouth and are like, whoa, way too sweet. However, at this point, this is what I always say. Do you notice that you've got extra protein powder on your plate? Well, at this point, I'm going to turn you loose and set you free with experimentation time. And I want you to make and eat as many gummy globs as you want. And if you want to, experiment with the drop size. Like maybe I'll put 3 or 4 drops in one place and see if it still holds and bonds together in one big glob. So really, I'm exploring the question, how much is just enough and how much might be too much? Now, finally, it's time for the big reveal. This is why this experiment is my hands down favorite of all time. The only thing that you need is water and protein powder, and you might be thinking, well, where might I get this protein powder? Just look in your pantry. I'm gonna say about 99.9% of every moms I've ever met has at least one box of Jell-O sitting in the back of their pantry somewhere. So that's all you need, Jell-O and water. It is the most brilliant, fun, simple kitchen table chemistry that you will ever do. I hope you enjoy this with your kiddos, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.